Voltron Network.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the DC versus Marvel podcast, where we talk about the latest DC and Marvel, the questionable.
It's all 2020.
Yeah, the 2020 DC and Marvel movie news. My name is Uz, and I'm your regular DC fanboy. And once again, in the red corner, representing Marvel, is my boy Ed. How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? Welcome. I'm back. We are back. DC versus Marvel. Sorry for the break.
We are back, man. So yeah, it's just weird. Like, I seem to be the only I keep getting told by people, you are either patient zero or close to patient zero, right? Because you're the only person who basically is driving around the country like a flipping lunatic, right? Going to every single corner of the country.
It is. It's like you are playing Russian roulette. It's mad.
I know. I should be dead by now. Honestly, I should be dead, man. The amount of places around the country that I'm going to, seeing old people, people who kind of should be not really alive themselves, to be honest.
Unless you're just leaving, you're like the Grim Reaper. You're just leaving a wake of dead people behind you. You don't even know. The super spreader.
Yeah, that's the problem, man. That's why I need to stop. But yeah, for 5 more weeks, and then then that's it. We'll have a stop for a little bit, man. So that's the reason why. So don't blame Eds, blame me, right? So it's gone so crazy that I've even recorded today, because I had some time today. I even recorded a trench episode defending the MCU, right? Literally. So I don't know what's happened to my mind, but yeah, it's
why do you need to defend it? It's like
I'll tell you why. Because there's this big kind of there's this big thing that is going on at the moment about Marvel directors and the fact how much control they actually have. So a lot of these previous directors are going on podcasts and interviews and stuff like that, and they're talking about how much control they have, or people who they've approached and have told, like, you only do one bit and we'll do the other bit and stuff. And my whole thing was to defend that, because people who are against that idea don't understand the way that, for example, Hong Kong movies work, where you get an action director and you get a story director, right? And the action director does all the action because they know what they're doing. And for example, in Rush Hour with Brett Ratner, he was like to Jackie Chan, you just do all the action and I'll do the rest. And that's the way it works out best. So I just decided to do something.
You need someone to keep it on the tracks. You wouldn't have this shared universe, this basically a movie TV show, what the Marvel universe is, if they didn't do it like that. You can't give the directors all the power, because then it ends up like the DC ones and everything just has different tones and nothing really connects, because every director wants to have their integrity of their own storytelling. Don't want to be handcuffed by having to connect things together, and that becomes a mess. So
it's really interesting the way that, like, in the Western world, it's kind of, I want total, it's like an ego thing, right? The director wants total control over every aspect. Whereas, like, you have, in the other movie industries, like in Bollywood, you'll have somebody who directs all the musical numbers, right? And the main director, and they actually tell part of the story, the musical numbers. But the main director has no influence on what is going on there. And all the like the Hong Kong films there as well, you have some people who kind of might direct the whole thing, but generally they have the similar kind of setup there as well. So I think the Western world has a bit of catching up with this kind of way of thinking. So
it's bizarrely talking about Bollywood films, because I've been watching a lot of them recently for some random reason. Gone down a hole.
God. Please no. Although I did actually see, I've been watching this kind of, I found Scott Adkins' channel on YouTube, right? And he basically goes and he talks to a lot of action stars and stuff. And he's talking to this Indian action star, Vidya, I don't know what his surname is. This guy is the amazing, like, action, right? And I was like, let me check this guy's films out, because he's working with like what's that? With Andy Lee, you know, who does all the action stuff there for the Raid, and was part of Jackie Chan's stunt team and stuff.
Is this
and
the guy
he's
that
done
did the Commando films?
Yeah, the Commando
Yeah,
guy, right?
Yeah.
So I think he did Commando 3 with Andy Lee, and I was like, man, let me check out this guy, and he's actually pretty good. Yeah, so I just thought, so I've been looking a bit of that stuff, but not the rest of Bollywood.
No. I go up to like 2002. That's the cutoff point.
Okay.
All the stuff.
Yeah, you need to be thinking 2014 should be the cut-off point, and nothing before that, man. So yeah. So should we get into a few comic booky kind of things, man? So we have missed a few things, guys, and obviously we don't want to be kind of rehashing things there for you that you probably have already seen. So we didn't cover the boys finale, but we will be covering kind of what we think is potentially going to happen in the new series, and potentially the stuff that, you know, we would like to kind of see, right? So one of the things that I've always said about the boys is there's a lot of kind of DC homages in it, right? And not only DC homages, but kind of like you know, they're picking up on certain kind of themes of DC. And one of the things that I saw in there that I thought, man, if they do this right, this will be absolutely freaking insane. Was at the end of the finale of the boys, you see Stormfront, half her face is like burnt off, legs are gone, arms are gone, like, you know, just and speaking in German, talking about her past life and all this kind of stuff, right? And then afterwards you see the geezer flipping what's it called, the Breaking Bad geezer, I can't remember what his name is now, Gus, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the head. So he's
Polo
like
Loco
so he's like yeah, we've got her, like, you know, still kind of like in custody and stuff like that. And at that point, man, I'm just thinking, right, half her face is gone, arms and legs are gone, right? I'm just thinking Cyborg, man. I'm thinking Cyborg Superman. Let's just plate that shit up, like, you know, let's kind of reprogram her mind, right? And just basically, because they're talking about Homelander's going to become this homicidal maniac, like the next time, right? And then obviously you've got Stormfront and stuff, and it could be a real crazy ass thing if they get like Stormfront, who is like outed as this Nazi, and say, look, we've like reprogrammed her, and, you know, this is like the real character and stuff like that. That to me would be a crazy way to do it, and obviously nothing like the book that has been there before.
Yeah. Well, one, I was right, she didn't last the whole season, but they're technically she's not dead. But I don't think she's going to be a big part of going forward. I think she will pop up. Like, they've confirmed that she is still alive in some form. But I don't think she's going to be as major if she does pop up. I think they're really going to concentrate on whatever Jason Eccles, whatever his character is. And she'll just be like, maybe pop up 1 or 2 or 3 episodes. That's what I reckon. But then again, she has turned out to be very popular. So that may affect the writing going forward, where they may think, you know what, people really were into this character and we like the actress, let's give her more. So yeah,
they do this a lot in superhero series, right? And I kind of don't understand why, because Titans follows the same thing. They're based like every season they go against this big bad, and the big bad's done, and then they do another one in the next season, then another one the next season, right? And it's kind of like in this, Homelander was like the first real kind of guy, I guess. And then in the
sorry, but you're turning into an android. Your voice is just gone total robotic. It's crazy.
Am I? That is probably because, give me 1 second. That is probably because for some reason it's trying to download some kind of software update in the background as well.
Oh, there you go.
So am I still robotic at the moment?
You are, but it adds to the story. It adds to it. So let's go keep going with
it. It adds to the story of me turning into what I think Stormfront should be turning into, I guess. So yeah, so obviously the next one is going to be Soldier Boy, and then they'll just keep going and going, right? So the kind of clues that they've given is that Homelander is going to become a homicidal maniac, and that Soldier Boy is kind of going to look into America and the way it's been in its foreign policy and stuff abroad and things like that. So it's an interesting way to kind of put it, because that is very kind of different to the way that the comic books are, basically.
Well, they're gonna have to introduce quite a few people because they need to re-establish the 7. And how many of them is left?
Yeah, well, they've got
Starlight. You got
Starlight's gone though now, isn't she? Or did she come back at the end? I can't. Oh yeah, she did. She came back at the end. Starlight, Maeve.
Black Noir's still alive, so I guess they're gonna keep him going.
Homelander, Flash Geezer,
A-Train, and that's it. 5. So you need 2 more.
That's it.
Yeah, because the Deep ain't back.
They need 2 more. Yeah, they need 2 more. So Soldier Boy, I guess. And then who else, man? Who else?
No clues in the comics.
Hopefully not Jack from Jupiter, man. That's
oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that.
as long as Jack from Jupiter.
They introduced him, didn't they? In the you said it was in the porn. So that could be it.
Did in like the worst possible way that he could ever be introduced, man. But I think season 3, what they're going to be doing is spending a lot of time trying to link it to the external kind of stuff. So when they've got the spin-offs coming, they're going to want to feed people to the spin-offs. So I think a lot of that is going to come. I think we might get introduced to the weird ass Professor X, which will be interesting, and characters like that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be a long time till we bloody see it.
Yeah.
So it's and it was good to have. I think in a way it's kind of better to have this, that it came like every week, because it kind of like it's filled that time void where we haven't had any of this kind of superhero stuff, man. Because it's weird. Like DC used to also have like they always have done like good comic books, right? And the kind of one of the recent kind of ones that has been coming out is the 3 Jokers, which has been going on for like 4 years, which ended on the most crappiest book I've ever read coming from DC, like awful, like absolute utter garbage, right? So even the comic book stuff is nothing to look forward to right now.
And there is no real excuse, because these artists are at home working. Like, they're not really affected by this. They get sent the script, they do the work, the writers at home as well. Like, it's the process of making it. They got it, it just shouldn't really affect them. So there's no real question for the dip in quality.
It shouldn't, but it's just like, I mean, if you're spending 4 years writing a story from like start to finish, and it's like you get to the end and it's like, what the hell was that? Right? Then you kind of think, it's not great. It's not great, man. What are you thinking about Eric Kripke's comments about MCU?
I didn't hear that. What did you say?
So Eric Kripke is saying that he thinks that the MCU is basically like he says he doesn't like it, in terms of the fact that it makes people think that there's always somebody who's going to try and save them. Like, everything is superheroes now, right?
Yeah.
So you don't. So The Boys obviously very different in that they're trying to kill you, basically.
Yeah.
But with this, it's like, oh, I can't think or do anything for myself because somebody else is going to come and try and save me. That's his thought.
don't know about that. You know, I'm sure people in Moldova don't think superheroes are gonna save them after the the fact that they basically just uplifted their whole city and dumped it again. Like, but I would like to see in the MCU, and they've teased about doing a show about this, but the human side of it all. That's why I was looking forward to Black Widow, just seeing people who aren't superheroes going about doing their business. You know, I'd like to see more of that from the MCU, how the real people deal with. And that's why I wanted Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to be more connected to to the MCU, but it wasn't because of, you know, the issues from TV and movies I had back then, and even the Netflix stuff, because that was all the ground level stuff where we could have gotten a lot more of regular people dealing with all of this. But sadly, it's all separated. So, missed opportunity.
I thought that all the Netflix stuff had gone off, and then I saw on my thing it said Punisher's on there. You know, he said, "Would you like to watch Punisher?" And I was like, "What?" I thought this was all taken off.
No, it's still
there.
Because I think Netflix co-financed or co-produced. So I think what's been done is going to stay there, but it's just going forward. They're not gonna.
Going forward, it's gonna. It's gonna kind of go, man. Yeah, because you know, did you hear about this? This is an aside, nothing to do with comic book stuff. Did you hear about the stuff that's going on between Armenia and Azerbaijan at the moment?
I keep seeing stuff like, what the hell? They're just kicking off.
They've got this border conflict, right, where they're like they're kind of like firing rockets at each other. Azerbaijan has gone into Armenia, and then the Armenian army's like pushed them out. So the prime minister's wife, right, a few months ago, she started training to become part of the army, and she's basically got this all-female group of the commandos, and she's like, we're going up there. So last couple of days ago, last Monday, she went up there with this commando group, and they're basbasically up there like doing special forces missions against Azerbaijan. And the son at the moment is training to be in their equivalent of the SAS, so he can go up there and protect Armenia there as well. So
the prime minister's wife and his son are actively in it. I miss those days when the rulers of a country were physically in the war. Like, that's why you had more respect for people like Alexander the Great, because they were there actually doing it. Like, I wouldn't mind that guy being in charge, because it's like, well, you're here doing it. I can't really say nothing because, you know, you're not like you sat at home. That's
exactly. So basically the prime minister, he's not gone because he's like, oh, I've got to, you know, run the country or whatever. But yeah, it's like you're gonna make sure that you know the army is equipped as much as possible and stuff like that. Exactly. If your son and your wife are on the flipping front, so like, you know what I mean, that's just the craziness, man. Like, she's actually just like, oh, I'm gonna set up an all-female commando team and probably just
those Sunday dinners, like, man. Around that table must be crazy. Those conversations. What the fuck?
Yeah. So that when you're speaking about Black Widow and the family stuff, that just kind of reminded me of that mission that was going on, man. So there's a lot of kind of stuff that has come out over the last couple of weeks, which has debunked kind of a lot of the news that has been coming out, right? So we reported a couple of weeks ago about She-Hulk. Also reported about Batman and like some kind of strife on set or whatever, and also about Spider-Man and potentially having, you know, 3 different Spider-Men kind of coming in and all that.
Debunked though. I haven't heard that being debunked. I still
so Sony, well, it's not 100% debunked.
No. Yeah, but that statement, they never said it's not happening. They just kind of had a little wordplay.
Yeah, it was like, we haven't yet contracted. So it's kind of like
it's happening. Come on.
Yeah, it's kind of like they put the stuff out there and then let people like see, like, okay, this is look at the reaction to this, you got to do it, and then obviously do it. And what's Tobey Maguire bloody doing now anyway? He's probably sitting at home all day doing.
Yeah, he just gambles. That's all he does, is gamble, play poker, probably online right now. Notorious arsehole, so I'm curious to see how he's going to be on set.
Notorious arsehole.
Yeah, that's why he hasn't been working in the last like 15 years, because everyone just realized that this guy he's a dick. No one wants to work with him.
This is the thing. This is the stuff that I I wanna, I wanna kind of see when they go forwards, like documentaries on these actors and stuff, and just how much of a bunch of assholes they actually are. Like literally, you could fill Netflix for the next 20-30 years of just continuous, just like, this guy was an idiot, this guy had some weird shit going on, they're always kind of just like, and they're always into weird shit as well. So you got to delve into that world there as well. You know what I mean? Once they've obviously left, mainstream movies and stuff like that, so you can kind of laugh at them at the same time as well, man.
That's why you got to look at the autobiographies on like producers and all of that, because that's where they kind of let it all slip. Like Sharon Stone literally slept away through Hollywood to get where she was. Like, you gotta get into that shit. I love it.
Well, exactly. They need to do stuff like that, man. It's kind of like, and all those producers as well. The producer of a lot of these things were just, they're dodgy as anything, man. So yeah, memoirs about those would be the way to do it, man. But I think I saw like about an hour ago they'd posted up a new Jason Todd rendering for Titans season 3, right? So we know obviously Jason Todd is going to be appearing in Titans season 3. Given the way that Titans season 2 ended, what's your thoughts about Titans season 3 and its kind of like prospects?
I'm cautious. I'm hoping that they heard the criticism for how season 2 ended. I'm hoping maybe they were monitoring it online, saw the Twitter reactions. I hope they saw that and thought, okay, yeah, we did get a bit lazy. We're not gonna take our foot off the gas with this next season. So I'm hoping they're gonna, course correct and just keep the quality consistent. But I'm a little cautious though.
Yeah, it's okay because all of them, they seem to go okay till the end, and then it's just like, sod it.
Yeah, even season 1 went the same way, innit? They just kind of crammed that bad guy right at the end, and it will just like, huh?
Yeah, it's like yesterday I was kind of like having a look at different kind of things that were on and stuff like that, and I kind of like scrolling past and I saw Swamp Thing was up. I can't remember whether it was on Amazon, the Amazon Prime thing or whatever, and I was just thinking, man, they haven't announced anything for that, so they've kind of just left that by the wayside of just leaving that thing to die, an absolute death.
Good. That Swamp Thing was good. And this is a Marvel guy saying, I enjoyed Swamp Thing, the hell out of it. So for that just to just fizzle. Like, what didn't they say they were gonna bring the character across into some other DC thing?
Like a Justice League Dark kind of thing. But then there's obviously never been any movement on that as well. It's like, where is that Justice League Dark coming? Whatever. I think like generally, what's your kind of thoughts on generally, obviously we don't speak about general cinema in this podcast, but general cinema really does affect all the DC and Marvel stuff. Going forwards, like, do you reckon we're going to see these films that they're saying are going to come out, May 2021, July 2021? Do you reckon these are going to be coming, or just going to get delayed again and they're going to do a massive rethink?
It seems early to me. Like, it seems real early. But, they are rushed. They are trying to rush through this whole vaccine business. So if it could hit in springtime, they could get something out there. Because I hear about all these companies are preparing for it, but I doubt it. I think I won't be until autumn. I reckon it would be like, we can get back to normal properly.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, like, because I got hate for this, for putting this thing up on the Facebook there as well. That my prediction was that next year, I think Black Widow's going to still do very well. But I don't think Wonder Woman's going to do very well. Like Wonder Woman 2, I think it's going to do pretty badly. And my thought process is basically MCU still has this inbuilt fan base, right? So they've got people go and see it. they know the character, they've seen the character multiple times, just out of loyalty, they'll go and see that film, right? Wonder Woman, although the first one was a big success, you know, a lot of the people who are seeing it are basically mums bringing their kids because they wanted to share with them, okay, this is what I saw when I was a kid. Right now, being a parent and going to the school gates and seeing the way that people are behaving right now, and you come kind of like too close to them, they're like, oh, like this, yeah. I'm thinking they're not going to take their kids to the cinema to see these kind of things. They're not going to go like you know, like they used to, like when they used to take to Disney films or Pixar films, go as like a whole group of school kids and stuff like that. It's not going to bloody happen. So it's really going to be like the hardcore fans who are going to want to see that, and that is, to me, is not going to make a huge deal of money.
How many young teen boys or 20-something-year-old guys are gonna with their group? I can see them more going to a Black Widow than going to a Wonder Woman for some reason.
That's the same thing. My thought process was literally like, you know, they will they'll go to there because they know that character and they'll see that character and stuff like that. When I'm going to see Wonder Woman, okay, I'm thinking, okay, right, is there? I'm not particularly a great fan of Wonder Woman, and I'm kind of thinking, okay, am I going to be seeing some dark side shit in here? Am I going to be seeing some Justice League hints in here? Am I going to, etc., etc.? But it's unlikely that you're going to see any of that because there's no connection to anything. So for people like me, I wouldn't even bother seeing it. I might see it on a streaming thing or something like that. And then you've got...
Well, this is the issue with the whole, what we're talking about, directors, the difference between the Marvel and DC. I get a feeling that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't want to feel like she has to drop in Easter eggs for other DC stuff because she just wants to tell her story. You know, just wants to do her own thing. So yeah, like you're saying, I just don't think there'll be other things to watch out for.
And that's the thing. Then it literally just makes it that it's like the big fans of this one single film will go and see it, and I can't see mums taking their kids to this because they don't, you know, whatever they say and whatever you say about all these Karens and stuff like that, there are a crap load of people who are scared of COVID, man, and they're not going to take all their, you know, their kids to that.
Do you reckon Wonder Woman's going to come out before SnyderCut does? Because we haven't got a date for SnyderCut yet, have we?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is this, right? I think what they're doing is they're playing it by ear and seeing, which is why they haven't given a date, right? Because that's probably the smartest thing to do. If you go and you go up to May, and we've got, I think the first one they're saying is May, and I can't remember which one it is. I've gone dark. 1 second.
You've gone dark. It's all a mess on this side.
You know, they're saying like saying May, right? So if that is the first one that they're talking about coming in May time, I'm black as well. Just thinking
I'm sorry. It's like your voice has gone tinny. You've gone in the dark. It just sounds like complete undercover news report. Come on.
Do you know what it's like? You know when you have those things on the BBC and it's like,
yeah, we're speaking to an insider and Warner Brothers guys are going to tell us the lowdown what's going on with DC and the dirt of what truly happened on the Batman set.
Yeah, shall we start that now? You introduced me as an insider.
Guys,
tuning in right now is like, oh look, it's a guy who you know is a huge fan. Oh my god, it turned on my mistake.
Shit. It's exposed. It's Patterson himself.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you know, I can't. The smartest possible thing that the Snyder Cut can do is like play it by ear. Whatever that one that is coming out in May. Am I still tinny?
Yeah, you are. But two things I want to mention. One, is there anything going on in the background on your phone that you can turn off just to get your voice back? And two, can we even call this the Snyder Cut anymore? Because this is not the Snyder Cut. Like, he's filming a whole bunch of stuff. The Joker's coming back. Friggin' Jason.
Oh God, I forgot.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that now.
Jason Manganiello, whatever, he's coming back. They're filming all this new shit. This is not the Snyder Cut anymore, guys. This is a whole other thing now.
No.
This is a whole other thing.
So, I mean, so that's the thing, man. Is like, when they said, okay, 70 mil, then you think, okay, fine, might be little bits that they've got to kind of refilm and stuff like that. But now it's going into, okay, we got Joe Manganiello back. Well, the thing is with Zach, he's very much kind of on his, whatever that Vero social media is, right? Yeah. So he's on there and he knows what people are talking about, right? He might pretend he doesn't, but he knows what people are talking about, right? So I've got Salim messaging me now as well. So let me just go back to this thing. I'm just, oh God.
Does anyone use Vero? Guys, anyone watching this, listening to this, does anyone use it except for Zack Snyder? Because I tried it once and was like,
no. Well, that's the thing. So he's obviously looking at that, and a lot of fans are saying we'd love to see Deathstroke breaking Lex Luthor out of prison, right? And then it's like, okay, yeah, I'll put that in. Okay, yeah, everybody's talking about Martian Manhunter. Then he's talking about, okay, Colonel Stanwyck, that guy is going to have a bigger role. Darkseid, you know, initially it was like Yuxas. Now it's like we're going to see Darkseid at the end. You know, now it's like Jared Leto's coming back. You know what it reminds me of is kind of like, I'm worried that this then becomes like a Rise of Skywalker, right? Because what happened in the Rise of Skywalker is basically, it was like an apology to the fans, right? To say, this is what happened. This makes no sense. That makes no sense. So we're bringing this character back in. You know, it's like when Luke Skywalker, he throws the lightsaber away in The Last Jedi, and in The Rise of Skywalker, he's Rey chucks it and he's like, this is not something you want to throw away. It's like apologizing for that kind of thing. So it's kind of like Zach's way of saying, okay, the reason why Jared Leto's got all these metal teeth is because the Joker beat the shit out because Batman beat the shit out of him, right? So they're gonna have a scene where Batman beat the shit out of him because of of Jason Todd, right?
I never thought about that. It could be a flashback scene. Because I was thinking maybe is it gonna be in the whole Lex Luthor getting broke out of Arkham, and maybe we see Joker there. But it does make sense, or even maybe both to make it worthwhile.
Yeah. Because the thing is there's a lot of stuff, right, that if you know deep about the lore, you can look at and you think, okay, that's cool. You know, I know what that means. But anybody who's watching it and just sees Batman looking up at this costume, which it isn't clear that it's a Robin costume, you look at it and they'll be like, well, I'm not sure what that is. So the you know, he's like apologizing for that. Maybe he'll be like, okay, Batman beat up the Joker because he killed Jason Todd. So he's going to show that kind of flashback, going to show his teeth getting mangled up. That's why he's like that. And it's kind of like, I'm trying to explain every single thing in it, which is what the Rise of Skywalker tried to do.
Yeah, because he feels this is his last chance to explain some of these things that he won't get the luxury to do down the road. So yeah. So you think he's actually going to cast a Robin? Do you think we're actually going to see an actor in that suit?
Well, the thing is, there's rumors they're casting Robin, Tim Drake right now, right? So I don't know. I honestly don't know. The other thing is, was it going to be his son? Wasn't there rumors that he was going to get his son, because his son always popped up in some of his other films as a little kid, and now he's like a big jacked up sort of college dude now. So I thought we were going to get him to do it at one point. Well, that's the thing. Apparently, the Robin that got killed by Harley Quinn and the Joker was Dick Grayson, right? So he said that's Dick, not Jason Todd. So then where is Jason Todd? Where is Tim Drake? Where is Damian? I don't know, man. If I start hearing stuff like, oh yeah, Damien's in this and Talia al Ghul is in this, and I'm gonna be like, oh my god, this is like
What?
50,000. If they said, okay, we're gonna be making a 10-hour series out of it, then I'd say, okay, fair enough, this makes sense.
Right? What, four?
Right now,
was it 4 or 5
hours.
hours? Well, it's just not enough.
4 hours is not enough to tell this story, man.
Unless
it needs
unless he's like, he told Warner Brothers, yeah, 4 hours, 4 episodes, yeah. And then he just turns up with like 10 hours worth of footage. He'd be like, yeah, you know, what you need to do?
That would be the
You want
content.
I got
jokes, man. And the thing is, then even if he puts that on, it'll be like, oh yeah, Warner Bros will want it cut down to like 6 hours or 8 hours or something, right? And then he'll go on social media saying, I've got a 10-hour cut that could come out and stuff like that. Because there was all this talk about, okay, like Val Kilmer, having some kind of part in the Snyder Cut, and but it's just like randomness, man, that is being taught right now. So I don't know, man. I need to see a proper trailer, not the kind of recut one that he had, but I'm talking like a proper, so I can understand the context of what the hell is going on there, man. Either way, I think kind of I think you said it a few weeks ago when we were talking about this, when we talk about this Snyder Cut, like I think he said a beautiful mess or something like that. Like it would be like, that's the best way to describe it.
It's gonna look great. The action's gonna be cool, but is it gonna be a good story? Is it gonna make sense?
Yeah, it's like that scene was mad, that scene was mad, that scene was mad, but does it string together? We don't know. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be crazy. Can't wait. This is still the most anticipated DC thing for me personally. This is the only thing I want to see right now. Can't wait.
Yeah. Well, that the thing is, everybody's starved of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Even now, when I look at these kind of things, like there's a lot of things that were meant to be like, okay, they're coming out soon. Like we're still hearing a lot about the WandaVision stuff and Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff, but it's like the Loki stuff is like, we saw a bit of filming and then it's kind of just like disappeared kind of thing. I don't know, it doesn't seem like, I don't see much news coming out about that. But then there's like obviously the She-Hulk stuff, and some randomer kind of announced that obviously this actress is going to be part of She-Hulk, and that's kind of
Anna Maslany. Sad. That bums me out because I would have really, unless she's lying, but I don't think it don't really make sense to lie really. But it's a shame because I really liked her as an actress. They said there is a chance that what's the name? Brie or the actress that they were talking about before.
Yeah. Oh God, what's her name? Alison Brie.
Yeah, unless there's a chance she actually is gonna be it, but I don't know, man.
Well, that's the thing. They're just like, we need to have something, right? There's literally just coming, so it can actually look forward to this mission. And there is something, because the Mandalorian is obviously coming out
this weekend. And WandaVision's done, so that's coming. So there's not really anything to worry about there. We've seen the full trailer now for it. That's whatever down the road, probably around Christmas time.
I made the mistake of watching Doom Patrol,
season 2,
right? And it's not good.
Really. Oh no, it's gone. Oh, it must have gotten a message. You're back. There you go.
So I was getting a phone call there. I literally, like, this is what I'm saying. I'm getting phone calls. That was a boss from another practice, right? So I'm like, I'm getting phone call. I'm meant to be off now.
Yeah.
Like, don't contact me. But nah, I'm still getting phone calls. So anyway, Doom Patrol season 2. Don't watch it, man, because it is. Yeah, it's like it seems like they've given a different director every single episode, and they're trying to out weird each other every single episode. So there's like, so with like The Boys, with the boys, you see stuff and it's like, okay, you know, there's they do kind of like outrageous stuff, right? So it's kind of like you do see more and more outrageous stuff every single time. With Doom Patrol, it's just weird stuff. So you see something weird, then something weird happens the next time, and something weird, and it's just like they're just trying to out weird each other every single time. And I guess that's what the comic books are like, but it's just, I just find it jarring to watch.
Shame. Is that still going? Like, is there news that they are going to keep going with that?
Yeah, well, they've greenlit season 3.
Wow.
Which I don't know why.
Like, get rid of Doom Patrol, get rid of Stargirl, and then we could have Swamp Thing season 2. The money's there for something good.
This is the thing, man. I would love to be an insider there, because I don't know what the hell deal Jeff Johns has got going on, right? Because Jeff Johns is like, they say like they pushed him to the wayside and all this kind of stuff, but he's, you know, he's obviously he was really in there with the Stargirl TV show, because he made it as a tribute to his sister and stuff like that. And you know, he was like obviously a major character there inside it, right? He, you know, the Stargirl was a major character that he created. But Stargirl is okay, but it's not like groundbreaking, amazing show that should be going on forever and ever. But for some reason, it is going on because Jeff Johns has, I guess, said for it to keep going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems to have replaced Supergirl, basically, as being their like main female hero TV show.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's rumors about that. The reason why that Supergirl kind of got cancelled, right? So there was a podcast that that Melissa I think it's Benoist, you say.
Benoist,
yeah. So she was on this podcast, and this podcast has been recorded several months previously, right? And she's talking about how, like, you know, she has struggles to get pregnant and the stuff on Supergirl and stuff like that. And that's probably about half of the, I haven't listened to it, but I've kind of read the transcript or whatever. That's half of it. And then the other half is all political stuff. It's all about reproductive rights, about you know, why Trump is bad because of XYZ, defunding the police, all this kind of stuff. And the rumors that I've been reading about are that they kind of knew that this was coming, and they kind of, you know, pushed kind of pushed her to the side, because they knew that she was going to start, you know, coming out with all this political kind of stuff, and they couldn't kind of say like, okay, you're pregnant now, so your show's cancelled. But
I shouldn't, because, you know, actors, you know, they got money, they're living the life, living the dream, whatever. But I feel a little bit sorry for them, because I've seen actors who have stepped away, kept their mouth shut. The Guardians of the Galaxy dude, what's his face?
Yeah, Chris Pratt. Oh, what an unfortunate guy.
People are giving him crap because he's not saying stuff. Whatever political stuff's going on in the world, he's just deciding to just keep his mouth shut and just live his life. And he's getting crap for not saying anything and not giving support. But then I hear that then there are actors that do say stuff and actively speak up. And then everyone just says, why are you talking? You're just an actor. We don't want to hear your opinion. Shut up. And they get like, you can't win. You can't keep your mouth shut. You can't say anything. What do you do?
I think with the more kiddie stuff, they don't want you to say anything. They just want you to be a robot. They want you basically just to be there and just do what you got to do for them.
But Pratt gets crap for it.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Pratt specifically is. I mean, his mission is highly unfortunate, man, because it's like, you know, the dude he lives on a ranch and stuff, and he's always like, you know, doing like farm kind of stuff with his kids and stuff. It's like, leave the dude alone so he can go and, you know, work on his farm.
Crazy.
After that Guardians 3 comes out, he's not going to be at any other Disney projects, I'm pretty sure, with that, because They're just, for them, it's like, okay, he's inviting controversy by, not being part of this, I guess. Was Chris Hemsworth? Did Chris Hemsworth say anything political? Because I think he's lucky because he gets a pass because he's an Aussie, right? Yeah. So if he doesn't say anything, he can say, "Well, I'm an Aussie. It's got nothing to do with me."
And he literally lives in Australia. Like he's away from it. He's separate. You don't really. This just seems to be an American issue for the most part.
Yeah.
Have you seen him lately? Like we were talking about last time about getting jacked for Hogan.
Yeah. So I saw a thing on YouTube. Him and his brother are like training and stuff like that, and the dude is getting flipping massive, man.
Ridiculous.
He's literally getting massive. So whether he's doing that and the Hulk Hogan thing is still like going forwards or whatever, the only thing that I don't like about the Hulk Hogan thing is potentially Hulk Hogan's going to get some money, right? And I honestly can't stand as a character. I liked him, but Hulk Hogan as a person, I just kind of think
dick.
I don't want him to
get. I'm always skeptical when it comes to like a biography or something about someone who's still alive and who's a part of it, because then you can't tell the dirty stuff. You can't tell the gritty stuff that you actually want to show. I want to see it in this film. Him, getting set up with his friend's wife, the whole sex tape, all of that. You can't do that if Hulk's actually part of it. You ain't gonna want to talk about that stuff. Yeah,
exactly. But the thing is, all of those kind of like, biography kind of things are all like political. I mean, they kind of did one with like the Ultimate Warrior back in the day, where they just ripped the shit out of him. Like,
it
was harsh, man. It was like literally just person after person just ripped him on this DVD. And then afterwards they made one that was kind of a bit more like nicer and stuff like that. So it's kind of all a bit like that. And I guess the Hulk has a lot of kind of things in that. I think one person who it would be interesting to have a biography of would be Robert Downey Jr., because that guy has led a crazy life and has pretty much kind of come back, as it were. You know what I mean? From that,
he's the definition of a phoenix from the flame, from the ashes, rebuilt his career after just destroying himself. It's just his wife, isn't it? She's the one that saved him. Pray she never leaves him, or it's back down the drain.
Well, exactly. Well, the thing is, I remember that's why he starred in Dr. Dolittle, didn't he? Because his wife was like making it, basically. It's like, I'll do it for you, kind of thing. But I remember being a kid and like seeing him in the courtroom, like, it is all the time. Like literally, the dude was in the courtroom like 24/7. You know what I mean? That I think was a time when there was like River Phoenix was around, and those kind of things, man. So
good old days when actors were rock stars.
The good old days when we didn't have any proper superhero movies, right?
Yeah, we had this Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher was like as good as it got.
Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher, I mean, that's if that's the best, then we got a few kind of problems to ask for, man. There was one other bit of Marvel news, and I've totally forgotten what it was. I think I kind of
forgotten. Spider-Man 3 shooting that started now. What else we got?
And just have Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Yes. So apparently Oscar Isaac is going to be tapped for Moon Knight. So what's your thoughts on that?
Good actor, very good actor. I'm not. Moon Knight's never been the character I've been that. Like you were saying about how you feel about Wonder Woman, that's kind of like how I feel about Moon Knight. Like he's kind of there, but I've never really gotten deep into it.
Isn't Moon Knight going to be on the streaming platform?
I think it was
a series.
Yeah, it's going to be a show.
Right. Yeah. So it's interesting, man. A lot of these actors are going into streaming, right? And it's weird because it seems like it's a step down kind of thing, right? Because you're a Hollywood actor and you're working in TV, even though TV is a big production nowadays.
I think that changed maybe 10 years ago, man. That we're in the golden age of quality premium television. Like the quality's been better than what movies are in terms of the writing, the script writing, the the work that they get to do. So yeah, I think that's changed completely.
I think you're right in a way that it's actually it could actually change the whole landscape of everything. So if you get these kind of big shows getting to the production level of a movie, right? And you get all these massive actors turning up and all that kind of stuff. And you also at the same time restrict the public's ability to go and see a film, right? Then you condition people into being like, this is the thing that you should be looking at. This is the kind of stuff.
Quality's already there. Look at Game of Thrones. Like so many films don't look anywhere near as good as how Game of Thrones looked. Like it's just
apart from the last two seasons.
Oh yeah, that's different. But just in terms of the production quality, Star Trek Discovery, like there's new seasons that's up now. Like all of the effects were done at home, and it still looks amazing. I think it looks better than it was when they were in there.
Yeah, it's crazy. The CGI on there, for some reason, on my TV, looks way better than it did the last one. I don't know why. Whether they're just spending more time on it or whatever. Like some artist is at home doing it and wakes up at 3 a.m. thinking that was not right. I'm just gonna. That's what I'm
thinking. That's what I'm thinking is happening. They're at home. It's just you can put more time and care into it.
Yeah, and I think also that's going to change more and more as everyone starts adopting that Mandalorian technology thing. That's gonna change a lot because apparently they want the boys and the DC stuff to kind of start using that there as well. So that is going to be interesting. One thing that we haven't talked about, which we'll briefly touch on for a small bit of comedy, was the reveal of the Batwoman mobile, right?
So it's weird because when I saw it, my instant reaction was just that's revulsion. It's horrible. But then I read down in the comments and people were like, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it looks like a Hot Wheels car to me though, and not a good Hot Wheels car, like a cheap, crappy one, the one that you don't want to play with, that just gets left in the box.
All I gotta say is, Batwoman is a stealth character who operates at nighttime, so the bad guys don't know that she's coming, and she's got red neons underneath her freaking car, right? It's like you're gonna know straight away that this character is bloody coming.
Should just be a motorbike. Should be a car.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I always hate the thing that DC does where it skirts around the Batman issue. Okay, they bring around characters like Arrow and Batwoman and stuff like that to try and replace Batman. Okay, if you're going to replace Batman, then make a Nightwing show, right? Just make a Nightwing show. Forget all this other crap that you've got around there. But what they do is they try and make it so it's as close as possible to that Batman without making it Batman.
Yeah,
I don't know why. What the reason is, you know what I mean?
Well,
so
I guess they feel like they don't want to burn out that character by having him pop up everywhere, because the films are what their prime money maker. They probably feel like they're just kind of killing it if they have him on TV as well, especially cheap TV, like the CW stuff.
Well, like the CW stuff, but
then he did pop up in that at the end of Gotham. Didn't he pop up with a crappy suit at the end?
He at Gotham.
Yeah,
that was that. That's not canon, man.
Well, none of it is. What is canon? None of it's canon.
You can't bring that Batman into any freaking universe. That's embarrassing, man. I actually just like that's going to be in my brain now. The picture of that Batman. You know what I mean? So, so from one character where we're skirting around stuff to another one where we actually have apparently in the works Static Shock from Michael B. Jordan's production. So we kind of talked about this. We didn't know whether it's true or not, whatever. Apparently now it's real, right? So What are you thinking about this?
Hate Static Shock. I gave it a go when it came out. I had the first issue, but it just wasn't one that I felt. It was trying to be Spider-Man, but just not good. But then I'm trying to think that, Michael B. Jordan, maybe it'll get a massive redesign, the style, the look. Maybe they can make it good. Because maybe I'm just stuck in my head of what I remember it being in the comics that I had. And
what was that film that he made? I think he made a film on Netflix where there was a kid who got superpowers or something.
Yes.
I can't remember what it's
called. Raising Dion or something like that.
Yeah. What was that story about? I don't know, but I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a kid that just, I can't remember. Something like powers on.
But it's kind of like, the background and the where that kid lives and all that kind of stuff is similar to what he could potentially bring into the Static Shock stuff.
Ground it, maybe even like completely different, but maybe even take some of that kind of way that they handled Into the Spider-Verse. They did a good job of telling the story of just the kid in the the urban, his experience that makes it different from any other Marvel stuff, any other superhero thing, but with the power, and it was fun. Maybe they take that approach to it, like it can be relatable, grounded, and make it look like how it looked in the comic book either. Completely, redo it.
But then this is the thing. Once again, it's like, okay, Static Shock, where's that leading to? Oh, it's like, okay, fine. And nowadays, unfortunately, we've got to the stage there where we're always kind of thinking, okay,
compared to Marvel, you want it to lead to something. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, even if they're not like continuations of each other, you kind of want to feel like it might be around each other, or you need the explanation that they're not around each other to come before that, because that's when the Flash comes in to explain all the multiverses and all that kind of stuff, right? But that Flash thing seems to be, discontinued forever, basically. Black Adam discontinued, there's no sign of that coming out anytime soon.
Pushed, yeah. Well, apparently they're still going to film it, aren't they? It's just not got a release date.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think the Rock is looking at that as his first, movie
good film
is helmed by him, that is like making a crap load of money kind of thing, because his films in general don't actually make that much. Well, they make money, but they make like 400, 500 mil, you know what I mean? Which is, not
2-star reviews. Yeah, he wants his first quality. He wants the first quality movie that he is the star, not an ensemble.
What's the first quality movie that he's ever?
Actually, this isn't even really going to be his film, though, because this isn't like Justice Society or whatever supposed to be a big part of this. So even this is going to be an ensemble.
This is the madness of this film, right? The amount of top level characters that are going to be in this is just flipping it. Oh, so now they're bringing in Hawkman. Okay, fine. So he's going to share the screen with Hawkman. He's going to share the screen with the JSA. They're saying that Alan Scott is going to be in this now as well. This going to be like,
why they're there. You know why they're there. Not just to be co-stars and help bolster the box office, but he wants people he can beat up to show how tough he is and how he's the most powerful superhero there is. These people are just going to be cannon fodder for Black Adam to just destroy.
Why?
That's what it's going to be.
Why?
You saw that scene in the Whedon Justice League of all the Justice League trying to take on Superman, and how he just kind of handled them all easily, and he says, "I want that." So he's going to get JSA.
If I see a thing where they're saying where Zach announces that The Rock is going to be filming some scenes for Justice League, and basically what happens is that they spend the whole film building the Justice League to go and fight against Darkseid, Steppenwolf, whatever, and right at the end, Black Adam turns up. and beat Steppenwolf and everybody else, and and just like
Shit.
and flies off to Apocalypse to kill Darkseid as well, because why not?
And I bet the
Yeah,
Rock's
that'll be
pitched that.
horrendous.
I bet the Rock is pitched that as well.
Well, I bet he's pitched him joining the Legion of Doom, right? With Lex Luthor and Deathstroke and Joker and
No, he
him.
wants to be a hero. Rock is redefining what Black Adam is. He's not going to be a villain. He's going to be a hero. Because the
He's
Rock's
like, yeah, he's
ego
an
wants to be a
anti-hero.
hero.
It's like, mate, an anti-hero doesn't commit genocide to like save his own people. You know what I mean?
I think the Rock's definition of an anti-hero is a hero who just makes snidey jokes. It's a dick.
Oh God. Oh please.
Basically what he does in Fast and Furious, the same thing. Just tough guy making crappy jokes.
That's exactly what he's gonna be like. He's gonna be that tough guy, kind of, oh God.
Yep.
No, yep. I'm just thinking now. No. Do you know what they should do? Have you ever seen on YouTube? I don't know why this turned up on YouTube, but it's randomly this video came up and it's by a guy called Not Tom Cruise. Have you ever seen it? Type in Not Tom Cruise, one word, right? And basically it's this guy who goes around, he does a really good a voice of Tom Cruise. He looks nothing like Tom Cruise, but what he does is he films all these kind of things and then deep fakes Tom Cruise's face.
Yes, I have. I think I've seen like a few little clips of it. Yeah, the deep fake.
That's what they should just do with The Rock, man. Just say, look, you stay at home, we'll get somebody else to act your part because you can't freaking act anyway, and we'll deep fake your face on somebody, and that's it, and then we won't actually have to see him. I'm surprised Vin Diesel hasn't thought that yet, because he'll get some bodybuilder like from and deep fake his face onto it and be like, yeah, this is me, Vin Diesel.
The problem is, I think Vin Diesel thinks he's a good actor, so he thinks my performance will be lost if it's not me.
Well, that's the thing. If they're,
have you heard his song? He thinks he can sing. Did you hear his song?
Oh mate. Oh no. No.
That's what happens when. That's what happens when you don't have people who tell you the truth around you. They just say, yeah, it's great.
That's what happens when you're at home too long, right? So these guys, like, it's so funny, like all these actors, they've realized they're not actually that important in the pandemic. So they're all kind of coming out the woodwork and doing some of the most stupidest crap you will ever see in your life, including Vin Diesel doing his song, man. So as long as that's a theme tune to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, then then that would be pretty
he's a part of that. Keep forgetting he's a part of that.
If you what is that guy's name? I'll have to send you the video. There's a guy, he's a Hong Kong, he's an Australian guy who was a Hong Kong actor back in the day. I'll show you his thing. His video came out recently. He has done all of the fight scenes for Suicide Squad with James Gunn, and he was talking about how, like, they've done it that way. So there's going to be like some amazing Hong Kong level, martial arts kind of fights being in there as well. So that should be something to look forward to if it ever bloody comes out. But that is the thing, man. So I think that's it for the news, isn't it? I can't remember anything else.
That's all the major landmark. It's probably little things, but yeah, that's all the major stuff we covered. Yeah,
that's all the major stuff. And I'm sorry, guys, we kind of had to condense 2 weeks into this one cast, man. But yeah, that's just unfortunately the way that it is, basically. So we will try I will try and be more present, so that and I will also remember my mic next time as well, so I don't sound like Tin Man next time.
And don't forget, we have to get our Star Wars fix covered by a man reviewing the Mandalorian every week, so we gotta do that as well.
Yeah. So we have, you guys are always asking us to cover more Star Wars stuff. There's been messages saying, could you cover the new Kylo Ren comic book and stuff like that? It's like,
wow,
guys, we will cover the TV and the movie stuff, but those kind of things there are too in depth in Star Wars for us. But we will cover the other stuff. So what we'll try and do is me and Eds will do short reviews, 15-20 minutes every week when the Mandalorian comes out there, and bring that to you guys in addition to the main cast. Yeah, so guys, if you want to contact us, you can email us on dcvsmarvelpod@gmail.com. The Facebook page is there and it's active, which is DCVS Marvel Podcast, and the website, which is dcvsmarvelpodcast.com. Also, we are on YouTube, even though we haven't had videos on there for a while. We are on YouTube there, and I have a ton of graphic novels that I still need to film, which I'll put on there at some point. But also Ed's other podcast is on there as well, right?
Yep, talking of the movies, go check that out on all podcasting platforms and on the Voltron Network YouTube channel.
Yeah, and apparently all podcasts are going on Audible now as well. They're coming from Amazon Music, are being ported onto Audible. So if you've got that, then cool. You can check us out on that mission there as well. Until then, guys, we'll see you again next time.
Later.